Hey guys! Today I'm going to show you how to make your stick figures actually come to life.
There is a Roblox feature, which I think is criminally underrated these days because I don't think anyone uses them. It's the Messages tab. These days, you might get a message on Roblox from Roblox themselves telling you something along the lines of, "Action users, unrated experiences will be unplayable soon. Robux credit pending. Please review and accept the agreement."
Back in my day, there used to be an actual use for this dang Roblox messages crap.
It was to actually communicate with each other. You see, I have 129 pages worth of messages, and I'm gonna look through all of them and try to find some of the best messages I've ever gotten. I've done this before, but trust me, there's way more messages to find. The first message comes from someone named Craven Volition 2 in 2014, so that's how old these messages are. Happy July 4th! Barbecue and fireworks! Yay! Get unlimited Robux at this scam link. It's one of the first messages I ever got. It was a scam link to get unlimited Robux. Oh my god. And it totally works too. I totally need to go to this link. Okay, that's obviously a lie. See, these are the kind of messages that I like. Thanks so much for playing my game and buying my Game Pass. Nobody sends you a personal message saying thank you for playing my game and giving me your sweet succulent cash. Hello, I'm Police Officer Eric. That was my old username before I became Nev Plays. You should come visit our city. There are a lot of things. I became Nev Plays. You should come visit our city. There are a lot of things you can do, such as rob the bank, take illegal power-ups. What do they mean by illegal power-ups? TRC Training Facility. TRC Training Facility is the worst game ever for me. The admins are jerks. I stand there watching, then I get banned. What's the meaning of this? Please tell me. This was an old war clan. I don't know if it's still around. Hold on. We need to research this. I don't think it's around anymore. There's a fan club. Stay alive from the virus. And keep buying merch. He's got his priorities set. Have you always wanted to show your buildings to other players? Wait, what? I thought this was a fan club for a military group. You will get kicked out if you bully, try to destroy group with your rank, or swear. Mailbox application. Did I apply for a mailbox? Fill out your name, fill out your... Do you speak English? Previous crimes you committed. No crimes I have committed. What are your pros and cons? What is this on a mailbox application? Pros, most likely not to get wanted by Postal Inspection Service. Cons, not really sure. What would you usually send in the mail? Letters or postcards? I'm sending bombs these days in the mail. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that. Congratulations, you are now a mailbox owner. God, I love old Roblox. There's some things about the old platform of Roblox that I just really love. I like the games nowadays. I think the games are better than back then, but the community, I think the community was just a lot funnier. I don't know if this is the right word or not. Everyone was kind of stupid together. Hey! You bleep! I don't like you. 2:47 a.m. Why does this guy keep sending me mean messages? Never mind. At 8:19 p.m., best buddy ever. We've made up for our differences, and now we're friends, I think. I don't know. Can you also, end of sentence, donate me 10 Robux so I can buy the punching Game Pass? Yeah, sure. I'll give you 10 Robux. Hold on.
One eternity later.
Thanks for the 10 Robux. You're so nice. I'm on my iPad in a place, so don't expect me. I most games. I also have 30 Robux if you want some. Ask me. And now I'm saving to 1k Robux. Yup, 1,000 Robux. Try guessing why. Maybe to get headless. I don't know. I swear some of these messages were sent by robots. Hey, Nev. I think I saw you at Outfit Creator High School Life. I'm not sure. I might have the wrong account. LOL. If you are the right person, then you seemed pretty cool. Oh, thank you. See, I'm telling you. I saw you in Hard Life V.2.1.1 beta exclamation mark. I swear, these guys are robots. You are a robot. You, Mr. Green Bean. You look like that one from, Inside Out. Whoa, the green one from Inside Out. You look like Disgust from Inside Out. Why is she sending me messages on Roblox? I got mad. Now I have to wear these stupid pink pants. Is he wearing the pink pants? Is he wearing the pink pants? He's not wearing the pink pants. Why is he lying to me? He's lying to me in my messages. This guy keeps messaging me. I got the pink pants on. He's not got the pink pants on. He's got the blue pants on. What's going on? Are you looking for Roblox hacks from the best Sigma V2? Oh, it's Stigma. I can't read. You can buy Robux for very cheap, or you can get free Roblox hacks. Oh my gosh! Why does this guy want me to get banned off Roblox? You didn't give me the job. Plus, principal is for securing the school, not go off partying with your friends. Please quit Roblox and never play it again. From me, Nev. P.S. Sorry if this offended you. Oh, sorry if this offended you, Abe. Lel, you never gave me Robux. Sticking out tongue emoji. Get the out. Please quit Roblox and never play again. Is insane. Wanna be HR? 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 Oh my god. Oh my god.
Dude, I do not want to be human resources of your company.
Dude, you sent me a whole page of this with like 1 minute apart from each message. Do you really want me in your group that bad? Nev! I got scammed 1K, alright? Might seem like a lie, but it's true. I was wondering, since I lost that 1K, if you could donate 10 Robux or 1,000 ticks if you have. 1,000 ticks? How do you say it? I was gonna do a good deed. I was gonna do my one good deed for the day, but I can't do it because it's not for sale. And I can't send a reply either because I don't know. I don't think Roblox lets you reply to messages anymore or whatever. Or maybe my settings are messed up. I can't give this man his 10 Robux. This guy was on to something. Hello, Nev. I am the commissioner of UFL, a new football league that is currently growing over 450 members. And you wanna know why I think this guy was on to something? Because there's an actual league called the UFL, and it was founded in 2023. Danny Garcia? Is this you, Danny Garcia? You founded the UFL? What, I can't do math. He was 7 years ahead of his time. Good on you, Sir Thanos, Sir Thanatos, Sir Thanos' toes. That's stuck in my head now, and I'm sorry if it's stuck in your head too. I didn't mean to burp there. Oh my god, YouTuber Dennis Daly sent me a message. I made a famous video with you in it. Haha, XD, Dennis Daly. Hey man, I made a video with you in it when we were playing earlier. It was really cool. It is here. Remove the spaces. Cat face. Cat face. Oh, it's just a scam link. Wow, Dennis Daly, why would you try to hack me? No wonder Dennis Daly ended up in prison. Dennis Daly really ended up in prison for trying to scam the hell out of me. Justice has been served, you piece of poo-poo doo-doo. There's one message that always sticks in the back of my head, and I'll show it again. Miss Squidgy Muffin, February 8th, 2015, at 2:27 a.m. The subject header, thanks for the YouTube content. P.S. You have mental issues. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm a YouTuber. Maybe I hit my head too hard as a child. Something happened. Something must have messed up along the line for me to go down this dark path. There is a Roblox feature which I think is criminally underrated these days because I don't think anyone uses it. There is a Roblox feature which I think is
the last survivor to leave this circle wins 1,000 Robux. I will put them through various challenges, some skill and some mental challenges, and the last survivor remaining wins it all. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Alright, come to the circle. This is a circle where you'll be staying your hours in. So, let's move on to our first thing. We will be doing introductions, and you guys have to elect a leader to choose your games. So line up in a single file line right here, and don't step outside the circle, by the way. If you guys even like step your foot outside the circle, you're cooked. You're dead. So do an introduction and say why you should be the leader.
Okay, to be honest, bro, I have no idea about leading a team. I don't really care about leading this team. To be honest, I'm not fit.
Okay, now S-Flux.
Yeah, I'm S-Flux and I should be the leader because I'm just like that, you know? I'm just her.
Okay, let's hear it from Sailor. All right.
I think I should be leader because I played these games before. That's all I have to say.
Who's noob? Manface? All right, you're next. You're next.
If I be leader, I will do my best to help the team.
King B-Tree.
Low key, the reason why I should be leader is because I need this money for my family. That's it. I'll help my teammates to the best I can. I promise, on everyone's lives except mine. I promise that.
Okay. Is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Next in line is Volo.
Hello, I should be the team leader because I'll give everyone a $10 Olive Garden card, I guess, and I'm a 2 times. So
Actually?
obviously I'm the coolest.
Dewsecker. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
I don't.
Bro, your mic is glitching out really bad.
I'm not that good at coming up with stuff.
Just say your name and why you should be leader, or if you even don't even want to be leader.
I don't.
Okay. Last but not least, guest.
I wanna be leader because I wanna share Roblox with my brother. Why not?
First, Spillerman, who you want to vote? Guest. Okay. Elliot, what about you? 2 times. So that's 1 vote for guest and 1 vote for 2 time. Okay, Chance, 2 time. 2 votes for 2 time. 3 votes for 2 time. Okay, so let's see. Noob, 1 for noob. Wow. And who do you want to vote? Shed, Chance, and Bilderman. All right. So looks like 2 time will be your team captain. I will DM him an option to be able to pick between 2 games, and he can pick whatever games you want, and all the games are just 1 elimination, and then you're done. Now we'll do a 1-hour wait immediately off the bat. So you guys have to stay in the circle for 1 hour straight, and you guys can do whatever. You guys can talk. I'll mute your guys' voice chat real quick, but I'm just gonna be maybe AFK, maybe I won't, and at a random point I might release some information that'd be useful. Oh yeah, remember, if you're AFK for over 20 minutes.
I know what you came here for. You came here for that Walking Dead Season 2. And I get it. But I've been struggling heavy to I know what you came here for. You came here for that.
When you speak to him in the junkyard, Gabe admits he misses being around other people and just hates being cooped up in the van. But his attitude feels more appropriate for someone 5 months into the apocalypse, not 5 years. The game doesn't really dive into what happened during the time skip, so we're left to assume Javi's group has only been on the road with each other this entire time. Due to that, it's hard to sympathize with Gabe feeling isolated, when this has been the way of the world for years, and because his sister is perfectly fine. To the game's credit, Gabe isn't completely unlikable, and gets a tiny bit better. Also, Kate tends to escalate the situation, and Javi isn't as strict as David would be, so they're not really making things better. Oh, and I guess I should talk about Mariana too. She likes candy bars, loves listening to her Walkman, and isn't insufferable like her brother. I'd say more, but honestly, there's just not much going on with her character compared to the others. After searching the junkyard for a bit, Javi and Gabe find an ambulance they can siphon gas from. They also find a trailer filled with supplies and a mattress to sleep on. Telling Kate and Mariana, the kids decide they want to spend the night here instead of in the van again. Kate, fearful of the incoming walker herd, argues that they should take the supplies and leave. This is where you're given the first important decision of the episode on whether to leave or stay. Which doesn't matter, because of course it doesn't, as regardless of whose side you choose, a group of armed men will interrupt your plans. Kate and the kids will hide underneath the trailer while Javi confronts the men alone. They accuse him of stealing from their stash, and Javi apologizes, stating he wasn't aware it belonged to anyone. Which, yeah, how would he have known that? Outside of the locked door, these chuckleheads did a piss-poor job defending their own supplies. No sign warning others to stay away, or just someone left to guard the stuff from trespassers. The small group's leader, or at least I think he's their leader, this guy in a beanie named Max, acts understanding at first but thinks Javi is covering for his friends that might be hiding nearby. They'll leave to search the area, and leave Javi alone with 1 guard. This guy is also understanding, but gets suspicious when he hears a noise from where the others are hiding below the trailer. Panicking, Javi will overpower and knock out the guard, but his 2 buddies promptly return. Things having escalated from theft to assault, Max decides Javi now has to be properly punished, and knocks him out. Now has to be properly punished, and knocks him out.
Hey, my family, where are they?
Well, well, well. If it isn't the consequences of my actions. Javi wakes up in a truck, his hands bound and sitting beside a new face. The driver, Rufus, is with the others and is taking Javi back to their camp where they'll decide what to do with him. He ignores Javi's questions, getting increasingly agitated, and distracting him from a tree falling in their path, causing him to crash. Rufus will take off, and Javi, having gotten his hands on his gun, can shoot the guy or let him go. I chose to let him go, but the outcome of your choice isn't revealed until several episodes later. Regardless, Javi's luck gets even worse as he's immediately held at gunpoint by another person, and it's a familiar face.
This is not what it looks like.
Looks like you let him go. I doubt he'd have done the same for you. Okay, now don't do anything stupid. Because I'm not as nice as you. I won't hesitate.
Oh, Sweet Pea. What's happened to you? Also, how the hell did you knock over that tree on your own? Now 13 years old, Clementine is no longer the naive, sweet, and scared little girl we saw at the end of Season 2. Whatever she's been through in the last 2 years has made her a more capable survivor, but also colder and deeply distrustful of others. She also has no issues justifying murder either. Clem criticizing Javi if he spares Rufus, before immediately robbing him for his gun and whatever he has in his pockets. But she's not completely heartless. When Javi explains that he needs to get back to the junkyard to save his family, Clem agrees to help, but only in exchange for his family's van. We won't learn what changed Clementine for a while, but I do appreciate what A New Frontier is doing with her character. In Season 2, I liked how they showed that despite Lee's training, Clem wasn't emotionally mature enough to survive on her own, as she immediately struggled after losing Krista. However, that season failed to truly develop her character. She felt sidelined by the conflict with Carver, and later the mess with Kenny and Jane. In A New Frontier, the focus is split between Clem and Javi, essentially making her the second protagonist. Their personal journeys intersect each other in multiple ways, and your choices will determine how well the two get along. Due to the previously mentioned Walker herd, Javi and Clem can't immediately head for the junkyard, so she suggests a detour to Prescott, a settlement nearby where they can wait out the herd safely. When they arrive, they'll have to help the guards take out the walkers outside the gates, and after Javi saves Clem when her gun misfires, the pair will be allowed inside. They're greeted by one of the guards and the possible leader of Prescott, Tripp, or I think he's the leader, I can't remember if it was stated or not. Tripp recognizes Clem from her past visits, and is fine with her and Javi staying, as long as they don't cause any trouble. Which, of course, means Clem immediately has to start some trouble. After Javi finishes chatting with a couple of locals, Conrad and his wife Francine, he overhears Clem causing a scene. She's confronting Eli, the guy who gave her the faulty bullets that almost got her killed. When things escalate, Javi can step in to back up Clem, disarming Eli when he pulls a knife. Panicked, he promises to fix things, but before they can square things away, Clem's gun misfires, causing her to accidentally shoot Eli in the face.
We had a deal.
All right, hey, okay, all right, so, hey, we'll trade back. I'll find some batteries.
I don't need batteries. What I need are bullets that won't get me killed.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Remember to follow Eddie the Eagle's advice, kids. Always practice proper gun safety, keep your finger off the trigger, and never point a gun at someone, even if you think it's unloaded or you think it won't fire. The other residents of Prescott rush over and demand answers about why Eli has a bullet hole in his head. You can cover for Clem like she asked by saying she shot him to defend Javi, or tell the truth that it was an accident. If you side with Clem, you both get locked up, but she appreciates you sticking by her. If you tell the truth, Clem gets mad and Tripp drags her off to give her a stern talking to. Either way, Tripp plans to escort you to the junkyard the next morning, and in the next scene, you'll meet his old flame and Prescott's medic, Eleanor. Oh man, Eleanor. I don't think I've ever been so wrong about where I thought a game was taking a character. She's introduced as being kind and understanding, insisting on treating the cut on Javi's arm even if he's been locked up. The way Eleanor's friendly with Javi, their initial chemistry, and how she doesn't really elaborate on why her relationship with Tripp fizzled out, made me think she was going to be a potential love interest, giving the player another option if they didn't want to pursue Kate, and throwing Javi into a second love triangle. But, that's not how things play out. Eleanor is sympathetic to his situation, and she'll offer to help sneak him and Clementine to the junkyard earlier instead of waiting till morning. What time you leave doesn't matter, as it only affects whether Tripp or Eleanor is with you at the end of the episode. I took her up on her offer, and while waiting for her to return, Clem will catch some Z's and we'll learn what happened to her and AJ after the end of Season 2. Assuming you imported a save, the flashback you see will correspond to what ending you got, and all are fairly stupid and contrived. If you sided with Jane and killed Kenny, Clem will be assisting her in fortifying Hal's hardware. Jane starts feeling sick and runs off. After a while, Clementine checks on her and finds Jane hanging from the ceiling, now a walker after taking her own life. So what exactly drove Jane to make such a drastic decision? To end her life and leave Clementine and AJ behind. As Clem pieces together, Jane learned she was pregnant, most likely with Luke's baby. While Season 2 made it clear that Jane never saw herself as a mother, and it showed through Rebecca just how hard it is for a pregnant woman to survive in this world, her reaction feels a bit extreme, don't you think? Look, I wasn't a fan of Jane, but it feels completely out of character for her to give up so quickly after finding out she's pregnant, especially considering everything she did to survive and expose Kenny's instability. Yeah, I get she doesn't have many options going through with her pregnancy, but Jane strikes me as someone who would guzzle bottles of alcohol non-stop to try and abort her kid, as opposed to hanging herself. Kinda like Krista almost did during that one scene in Season 1. Maybe her surprise pregnancy is meant to be an ironic punishment for how Jane endangered AJ and her plot to drive Kenny crazy, or to motivate Clementine not to give up and raise AJ no matter how tough it gets. But it feels like such a contrived end for a major character. Unfortunately, Kenny doesn't fare much better. If you chose to side with and go with him instead of staying in Wellington, we see that he's mellowed out significantly and is doing a decent job of looking after Clementine and AJ, with the trio having spent several years together. However, during a driving lesson, Clem loses control of the car, crashes, and Kenny is thrown through the windshield. Although he survives the crash, Kenny ends up paralyzed from the waist down. With walkers approaching, Kenny accepts his fate, telling Clem not to blame herself and to take AJ and run without looking back as the undead throws in. Like Jane's fate, Kenny's tragic end feels abrupt and like a worse rehash of his Season 1 death. It's also a terrible emotional blow for Clem. While Kenny may not blame her, there's no way she wouldn't feel responsible for his death. He was Clem's last real connection to their original group until Lee, making his loss even harder to bear. Finally, if you sided with Kenny but opted to stay in Wellington like he asked, like I did, Clem and AJ are still there a few years later. They're being cared for by Edith, the guard you meet when you first arrive. Things seem to be going well. The kids are safe, healthy, and well fed. The only concern is that AJ still hasn't started speaking, something Kenny brings up in his flashback scene, which is just a plot point to set up a heartfelt scene later. Then everything falls apart. A group of raiders breaches Wellington's defenses and quickly overruns the place, killing everyone in sight. Edith, Clem, and AJ try to escape, but Edith is shot and killed during the chaos, leaving Clem and AJ to fend for themselves. Once again, the downfall of Wellington feels far too abrupt. For a place that was shown to be well fortified, selective about who could stay, and generous enough to give supplies to those they turned away, it crumbles way too easily. It's especially jarring because we don't see any real resistance from Wellington's people. They're just steamrolled by what seems like a handful of raiders. I understand that in order to have Clementine here, we have to undo whatever ending she got in Season 2, and realistically there's no way to properly undo those endings in a way that makes sense without dedicating at least one full episode to it, which would require far too much time and resources to create 3 different versions of the same episode. But I still think there could have been a better way. One that, while still abrupt, would require less work and could tie into Clementine's relationship with a certain group, but I'll circle back to this later. After Clem wakes up, she, Javi, and Eleanor will make it back to the junkyard. The place looks like a war zone, with the walker herd having passed through during the night. Fearing the worst, Javi calls out for Kate and the kids, with Mariana quickly appearing. She explains they all hid when the walkers showed up, and last she saw Kate and Gabe, they were heading for the van. The group finds the van completely destroyed, but Kate and Gabe are still nearby, having taken shelter in a truck that's being attacked by walkers. After the walkers have been cleared out, Kate will run into Javi's arms, happy to see him again. And if you feel like pursuing Kate, you can have Javi give her a kiss. Having survived this harrowing experience, and now lacking a car, the group decide to head back to Prescott to plan the next move. The Garcias are in high spirits now that they've been reunited. Unfortunately, this is The Walking Dead. It doesn't take long for things to fall apart.
Thanks.
If you're wondering why I barely said anything about Mariana, that's why. While I enjoyed the relative slow burn of this episode, her death is when I locked in, and I was on board for this season. Those assholes from before still won't let it go that Javi accidentally stole some of their supplies. And on top of murdering a child, they also shoot Kate in the stomach. Outgunned and cornered, your final choice for the episode is to either flee back to Prescott to get Kate help, or to heed Clem's warning that those raiders will continue chasing Javi, and choose to fight them off with her. I had Javi back up Clem, the two of them acting as a distraction so the others could safely get away. The episode comes to an end with a literal bang, as the raiders toss a pipe bomb and the screen fades to white as it explodes. Alright, A New Frontier, we're off to a good start. A nice introduction of our new characters, some intrigue surrounding Clementine's past, and AJ's whereabouts, and a touch of tragedy with Mariana's death. Let's see where things go from here.
Please, let me do the dishes. That's the least I can do. I'm crashing here. Crashers clean dishes.
Your family. Besides, if they're not clean the right way, David becomes a big baby about it all.
Episode 2 opens with a flashback set at David's house. While Kate is doing the dishes, Javi offers to help, wanting to feel useful since he's been forced to crash at his brother's home after Javi lost his career. As they chat, Javi is adamant about leaving to start a new life somewhere, with Kate floating the idea she could go with him. Like the opening of the game, the scene showcases Javi's strained relationship with his brother, but also how Kate's marriage to David wasn't great either. While I'm not quite sure if she developed genuine feelings for Javi before the apocalypse, it's obvious she's looking for a way out of her marriage. During their conversation, Kate accidentally breaks David's military glass and cuts her hand. Javi helps bandage her up as David walks in, leading to a tense moment. Angry, he's more concerned for the broken glass than his injured wife, as it was given to David from his commanding officer. Things will start to escalate when Javi tries to calm him down and stand up for Kate. You'll either have to stand down or involve yourself in their marital problems, which, if any of you have married friends, you know that's a terrible idea, and it's better to stay the hell out of it. Depending on what you decided on last episode, after the flashback, if you left with the others, the scene cuts to Kate screaming in pain as Eleanor works to remove the bullet from her stomach. If you stayed with Clementine, Javi wakes up to find that Clem has already finished off the bandits, and even dug a grave for Mariana, allowing Javi to give her a proper burial. It's a heartbreaking scene, not just because Javi couldn't protect his niece, but because it's one of the few times in this series where someone actually gets to grieve and properly lay a loved one to rest. Most of the time, they're forced to leave their dead behind or put them down before they turn into a walker. After Mariana is laid to rest, Javi and Clem will survey the aftermath of their fight. Putting down one of the bandits that turned, Javi spots a nifty brand on his neck, recognizing that the other bandits had it too. Clem explains that it's the mark of a survivor group known as the New Frontier, once good people who have devolved into another raiding group. Javi questions how she knows this, and if the New Frontier was after her, but Clem says she was just stuck in their camp for a short time and saw firsthand the terrible things they've done. While she immediately changes the subject, it's obvious Clem isn't being entirely truthful, and is hiding something. But Javi doesn't press her on it. Random question, guys, but what the hell is the New Frontier's brand supposed to be or represent? Like, I thought it was the number 76 at first, but apparently it's meant to be the Capricorn sign. But nothing in the game explains why they chose the Capricorn symbol, or what it's meant to represent. All you get is that it serves to initiate and test the loyalty of new recruits. I'm guessing it's probably a leftover from content cut from the game, and admittedly I don't really care all that much. It just irked me no one ever explains why they chose that symbol as their brand. Jumping into the bandit's car, Clem and Javi return to Prescott to check on the others. Eleanor has successfully removed the bullet from Kate's stomach and stabilized her, but she warns Javi that Kate isn't out of danger yet. Since Eleanor lacks proper medical tools and training, she's not an actual doctor, just the only one in Prescott with basic first aid skills, there's a good chance Kate won't survive unless they can find a real doctor. Eleanor promises to keep Kate comfortable for now and tells Javi he should check on Gabe, as he was a mess after what happened. We'll find him just outside the gates taking out his frustrations on a walker. Speaking to Gabe, Javi will try to calm him down, and you can give him some closure about Mariana by giving Gabe her cassette player, assuming you didn't choose to bury it with her. Witnessing his sister's death and Kate getting shot, Gabe is consumed with guilt, beating himself up for not doing more. He feels useless for just running away and vows to man up, to defend what's left of his family just as his father would have. Comforting him, Javi reminds Gabe that being a man is about action, not just words. Before they can finish their heart-to-heart, they're interrupted by the arrival of the New Frontier. And it's the same two assholes from the junkyard. Max, the guy in the beanie, and Badger, the one who killed Mariana. Unwilling to let go of their grudge, especially now that Javi has killed some of their friends, which was their fault for escalating the situation in the first place, they demand that Prescott hand him over. When Javi refuses, they reveal they have a hostage, Conrad's wife Francine. And to show that they're not fucking around, they start cutting off her fingers. You'll have to decide if Javi gives himself up, tries and negotiates, or just starts blasting. Whatever you choose, it always ends the same, with Francine getting executed, both groups engaging in a firefight, and the New Frontier destroying Prescott, which they do by ramming their truck full of walkers into the town, the walkers and the New Frontier killing everyone inside. Our heroes will escape the mayhem, now whittled down to Javi, Gabe, Kate, Clem, Tripp, Eleanor, and Conrad. Conrad, understandably consumed by anger and grief, blames Javi for what happened. While Javi is willing to let him vent, Gabe pulls a gun and demands that Conrad back off. Javi urges him to stand down, and some intervention from Clem gets Gabe to back off. The group will then discuss their options, and Clem suggests they head for Richmond, claiming a large community is set up there and it's possible they may have the resources to treat Kate. With no other options, the group starts gathering their things. Before leaving, Eleanor notices Gabe and Clem getting chatty, wondering if those two crazy kids could hit it off. Javi agrees and thinks that the kids having someone their own age to speak to could actually be good for both of them. I'll leave it alone for now, but the game really tries to ship Clem and Gabe throughout the season, and it just does not work for me one bit. During the drive to Richmond, Kate will wake up and, knowing she's in bad shape, is slowly coming to peace with the fact she might not make it. She's distraught over Mariana's death and worries about Gabe's mental state. Kate loves him, but she's unsure if he might turn out like David or more like Javi, asking him to watch out for Gabe's well-being in case she dies. Javi promises he will, but also reassures Kate that she isn't going anywhere, and not to give up. The scene shifts to the following morning, the path ahead blocked by several wrecked cars. After using a winch from a tow truck to clear the path, they quickly discover the blockade was set up to prevent a massive herd of walkers from getting through. Quickly overwhelmed by the undead, Javi tells Eleanor to drive ahead with Kate and the others will find a way to catch up. Everyone gets to high ground and soon spots a mysterious person spying on them. Unsure of his intentions, Javi will sneak around to try and get the drop on him, but gets bamboozled by a decoy, and Hobo Jesus gets the drop on him instead. He asks what Javi's group is up to, and the interrogation soon gets flipped when Clem distracts him and Javi disarms him. They'll ask Hobo Jesus if he's part of the New Frontier, and Javi will check him for a brand when he says he isn't. He's on his way to Richmond to find out what happened to some friends he lost contact with. Hobo Jesus then drops a bombshell. Richmond has fallen, and is now under the control of the New Frontier. The group panics, and Javi realizes he just sent Eleanor and Kate into danger. Clem takes it the hardest, separating herself from the others and dizzily hyperventilating when hearing the news. Hobo Jesus reveals they can take some tunnels to sneak into Richmond and can guide them there. Oh, and he'll finally give his name to the rest of the group.
Sorry, forgot to introduce myself. It's Paul, but my friends call me Jesus.
Okay, so I didn't actually know he was going to introduce himself as Jesus when I was referring to him as Hobo Jesus. That was just a funny coincidence that happened while I was taking notes. Also, Jesus is the same Jesus from the Walking Dead comics, who was part of the Hilltop Colony and made contact with Rick's group. I'd say more about him, but I never finished reading the comics, and I don't remember much about his appearance on the TV show either. Entering the tunnels, we're hit with another Clementine flashback. It's brief, but shows Clem's first encounter with the New Frontier. While taking shelter with AJ, she meets one of their members, Ava. Seeing a teenage girl struggling to care for a baby on her own, Ava takes pity on Clem, shows her the New Frontier brand, and invites Clementine to join their group. Back in the present, Clem confides in Javi, revealing that she was once a member of the New Frontier, and revealing she was branded too. She apologizes for hiding the truth and explains not all members were like the ones he encountered. Clem regrets joining them, but in her desperation, she saw it as the best way for her and AJ to survive. But now that the New Frontier controls Richmond, she can't let them see her and asks Javi not to tell the others about it. Unfortunately, because they were whispering super loud in an echoey tunnel, Conrad overhears them. After encountering some walkers and running into a subway car for safety, he'll confront the pair when Jesus and Trip go up above. Holding them at gunpoint, he forces Clem to reveal the brand, confirming what he overheard, and exposing her secret to Gabe. Conrad decides they can use Clementine as a bargaining chip to get whatever they want in Richmond in exchange for handing her over to the New Frontier. Javi opposes the idea, and Conrad will try to force his hand by grabbing and threatening to kill Gabe. You now have to decide to betray Clementine's trust by agreeing and exposing her to the others, or stick by her and shoot Conrad in the face. I chose to shoot him in the face.
Holy shit!
At the time, I didn't realize this, but outside of how the season ends, this is actually the most impactful choice in the entire game. Outside of affecting your relationship with Clem, siding with Conrad here doesn't just let him live to the end of the episode, it can lead to him surviving throughout the rest of the season too. I had this complaint with Season 2, but your choices don't diverge much compared to Season 1. That's still the case in A New Frontier, with how long Conrad survives being the only real exception. And honestly, I hate that. Mostly because Conrad doesn't do much if he sticks around, and he barely did anything before this point. So I don't get why the developers would choose to make him the character you can save. The deciding factor to keep him alive is great with him and betraying Clementine, something the overwhelming majority of players wouldn't do. It doesn't even make sense from a story perspective. Javi hardly knows Conrad. I mean, he barely knows Clementine, but I'd say they're closer. Plus, the fact that Conrad resorts to threatening Gabe's life makes it even less likely that Javi would side with him in the first place. So it doesn't feel fulfilling to keep a nobody like Conrad around over just helping Clem. Alright, let's get a move on. This episode's almost done. Clem will take off to avoid running to the New Frontier. Javi lies to Trip and Jesus that Conrad was killed by walkers. And after walking around Richmond, they'll discover Eleanor's car abandoned. Kate's inside and explains that Eleanor left to get help but still hasn't returned. Out of options and with Kate in desperate need of treatment, Javi decides they just walk up to the gates of Richmond to plead their case. Unfortunately, we run into that asshole Max again, who isn't going to let bygones be bygones. Just when the situation is about to escalate into violence, the episode comes to an end with a shocking revelation, as Javi comes face to face with one of the New Frontier's leaders.
What the hell's going on out here? They said they weren't here to hurt anybody, so I was trying to see if they...
Oh my god.
Dad?